That's Kyron Horman, just a 7-year-old kid smiling ear to ear, excited about presenting his red-eyed tree frog project at school. That photo would hold so much significance as time went on. No one could have imagined it would end up plastered all over televisions across the country.
That's the last time I saw him. He never did make it back to class.
This is the mysterious disappearance of Kyron Horman. It's September 9th, 2002. Tennis star Pete Sampras defeats Andre Agassi and claims his 5th US Open. And over in the entertainment world, Nelly and Ashanti are topping the charts. And the Horman family is experiencing their own life-changing event at St. Vincent's Hospital in Portland, Oregon. Kaine and Desiree Horman welcomed their first son, Kyron. Over the next few years, he grows to love the beach, pizza, and trucks. Kyron is a happy child considering some of the challenges he faces at such a young age. After just 3 years of marriage, Kyron's parents get a divorce when Kyron is barely a year old. Divorce is never easy, but the parents share custody of Kyron and work together to care for him. In 2004, Desiree becomes extremely ill with liver failure. Because of her illness, she makes the difficult decision to move to Canada for specialized treatment. Kaine steps up and takes full custody of Kyron. Over in Canada, things are looking up for Desiree. Surprisingly, her recovery only takes about 2 months. She moves back to Oregon, but she stays with family in Medford because she's overcome with medical bills. And Kyron seems comfortable with his dad and live-in girlfriend, Terri Moulton, so she lets Kyron continue to live with them. Life continues to get better. In 2007, Kaine and Terri tie the knot. A year later, a baby girl named Kiara joins the Horman family. But their bond would be tested a couple years later. On June 3rd, 2010, the world watched in anticipation as the Celtics took on the Lakers in the NBA Finals for the 12th time. But Kyron is more excited about other things. The following day is the science fair, and he's presenting his research project on the red-eyed tree frog. June 4th, 2010 starts like a lot of other days for Kyron.
Went and talked to him out in the front yard before he left for school, and I left for work and told him to have a good day.
At around 8:30 that morning, Kyron's stepmom Terri brings him to Skyline Elementary School, a familiar place.
They say 300 extra people at Skyline School that day looking at the science exhibit.
When they get inside, she takes a picture of him with his project. He looks so happy and so proud.
It was here the morning of June 4th, Terri Horman says she took these photos of Kyron and his science fair project.
After dropping Kyron off, Terri sends Desiree an email updating her on the day's activities. Desiree, check your Facebook as soon as you can. I tagged you on there so you could see it. The day goes on as usual for Terri. Later that afternoon, Kaine gets home from work, and a few hours later, both dad and stepmom get ready to greet Kyron at the bus stop. What happened next would mark the beginning of a mystery.
I went down to go get him from the bus like we would normally do. The bus came by and the bus driver opened the door and was like, yeah, he's not on the bus today. And I was like, why is he not on the bus? He was at school today.
What could possibly be going on?
The Portland Public Schools spokesperson says Kyron was marked absent by his teacher when class started at 10 a.m.
Meanwhile, in Medford, Desiree's phone rings at 4:25 p.m., a call she would never forget.
The caller ID on my phone showed Skyline Elementary, and my heart sank. I picked it up right away. She said, "You are listed as the emergency notification for Kyron Horman."
Back in Portland, Kaine and Terri are scrambling to find answers.
We called up to the school as well, and they had said that he was absent for the day, and from there, just absolute panic.
She said, "I have to notify you he's missing."
Within 30 minutes, the Portland Police Department and the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office deputies arrive at Skyline Elementary and at Kyron's home. The community is in shock, and parents are on edge after all families of Skyline Elementary students receive this terrifying phone call.
Good evening. This is an important message from Portland Public Schools. Skyline second grader Kyron Horman did not arrive home from school today.
It strikes fear into your heart. You know, it's every parent's worst nightmare.
The news that Kyron is missing spreads quickly. Everyone in the community pitches in to help find Kyron.
We get a glimpse of who searchers outside are looking for. A 7-year-old boy who wrote about splashing in a lake with artwork to complement his writing assignment. Investigators in his disappearance say he is a little boy who not only loves art, but is good at it.
We do begin with the search for a 7-year-old boy. He's been missing since this morning.
We just learned that within the last hour, this search has been upgraded. It is now a major crimes team investigation. With that brings the FBI.
Over the next few days, investigators blanket the Portland area, hoping to find Kyron. They release very little information. No suspect and no leads on what happened to Kyron, raising a lot of questions.
An exhaustive search by ground and by air covers a 2-mile grid all around Kyron Horman's Skyline Elementary School.
You know, information that we're keeping from the public at this point and from the press has everything to do with the integrity of this investigation.
With new locations in mind, crews head out on what was for some an emotional day 4 of the search for Kyron Horman.
At this point, investigators have interviewed around 200 children who were at the science fair the day Kyron went missing, and gathered more than 1,200 tips. It's June 11th, 2010, 1 week since 7-year-old Kyron Horman vanished. The blended family makes its first public appearance, a moment everyone has been waiting for.
We want to thank the community, the parents, the children. Your memories and statements can help us find Kyron. Please help us bring Kyron home.
Investigators don't have a lot to go on. It's as if Kyron just disappeared. Terri Moulton was the last person to see Kyron, and her movements that day are studied closely.
Sources tell K2 there is surveillance video of Terri Moulton visiting 2 different Fred Meyer stores after she left Kyron's school in search, she says, of medication for her daughter Kiara, who had an ear infection. She claims she then drove back roads trying to soothe Kiara.
Over on the web, there are some interesting theories swirling. Some wonder about Kyron's home life. Was he suffering any abuse behind closed doors? From the outside, it didn't appear so. Remember that 1-week anniversary press conference when the family showed up together? They looked like a close-knit unit, the way Terri held Desiree.
That hug especially, because, you know, even though we were co-parents, we weren't close. Hugging was never a thing.
Although Terri has an alibi for the day Kyron went missing, how strong is it?
Witness statements from Kyron's classmates, their parents, and even a bus driver say they saw Terri and Kyron leaving the school together.
With no corroborating evidence, these witness statements aren't strong enough to pursue any further. On June 14, 2010, Kyron's missing persons case turns into a criminal investigation. At the same time, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office makes an announcement. They are now offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to Kyron's recovery.
I'm having to forcibly order and kick out people out of my command post. They're supposed to go home and rest.
They're tired, they're exhausted, but they want to stay with this throughout the full search.
The community's having a hard time accepting the idea that Kyron just disappeared.
It's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying.
And one by one, the family is cleared. Desiree was at work, Kaine was at work. And then there's Terri and her timeline. Desiree grows frustrated. While Kaine, law enforcement, and the entire community unite in the search for Kyron, the one person she believes has answers just isn't showing up.
She's not taking an active role in finding Kyron, telling the truth.
On July 4th, this case would take a turn no one could have imagined, not even myself. An absolutely insane accusation is made, adding a new layer of shock to this already shocking case.
You believe that Terri tried to hire someone to murder you.
A landscaper for the Hormans comes forward and says, 6 months before Kyron disappeared, Terri tried to hire him to kill Kaine. He goes to authorities, they fit him with a wire, and he sets up a meeting with Terri. But she says nothing that corroborates his allegations, and no charges are filed. As the family falls apart, we still have a missing 7-year-old boy. Investigators are honing in on Terri, but she's not named a suspect.
Unfortunately, no, there hasn't been any changes. She's still not cooperating. I just really want her to do the right thing, and it's extremely frustrating that she is not cooperating.
Kaine and Terri's relationship implodes. Kaine has had enough. He files for divorce from Terri on June 28, 2010. Just over 3 weeks since Kyron went missing. He also takes their daughter Kiara and files for a restraining order against Terri. Some pretty bold moves. Kaine starts to believe Terri has something to do with Kyron's disappearance. Terri takes her silence in Kyron's disappearance a step further.
She retained a high-profile defense attorney fairly soon into the investigation, and that inhibited some of the things law enforcement might have liked to have done.
While the drama around Terri continues to grow, she gets support from a close friend, Dee Spicer. She moves in with Terri for a short time after her split from Kaine. Of course, not everyone in Terri's orbit is supportive. They say mothers have strong instincts.
Desiree, how do you know that Terri's lying? You made a reference to her lying.
I've known her a long time. I know she's lying.
New leads come to light in an interview with Dee. Remember she moved in with Terri after the divorce? Well, her whereabouts the day Kyron went missing are being examined. She works at a nursery less than 5 miles from Skyline.
This is your chance to give your side of the story, please, Dee.
But Dee says she had nothing to do with Kyron's disappearance. In fact, the day he went missing, she says she was at the nursery prepping for a garden tour and never left the whole day. But some questionable things went down with Terri and Dee after Kyron's disappearance. While they were living together, Dee and Terri communicate with burner phones. They say it's because the service is bad at the house and they think their phones are tapped. Investigators really think Dee is involved with Kyron's disappearance in some capacity. So they take a risk and give Dee immunity in the case, hoping she will give them information to help them get closer to finding out what happened to Kyron.
We thought that she might have been involved in the crime, and if she was involved, a secondary figure, but the information we got wasn't helpful.
It turns out to be a dead end. Investigators work on Kyron's case, but 1 year later, the little boy is still missing. There are no new leads, but the news doesn't sleep or forget. K2 TV in Portland puts together a 1-year anniversary special.
How close do you think investigators are to solving this?
It doesn't appear that they're close at all.
Reporter Tom Jensen tracks down the one person we all want to hear from, Terri.
Terri, it's been almost a year since Kyron disappeared. Are you willing to talk now? A lot of people in that area are still wondering, what happened to Kyron that day and why you stopped talking to police.
She says nothing. You'd think the stepmother of a missing child would have no problem speaking out. It would be years before Terri breaks her silence. 5 years, to be exact. First in 2016 with People magazine, where she is quoted saying she didn't hurt Kyron. Then on Dr. Phil, because Dr. Phil is where everyone goes who's innocent. There, she admits to failing not 1, but 2 polygraph tests. According to Terri, they went like this. The first was failed due to a hearing problem. The second, the examiner's fault. They rushed her, and when you have to tell the truth quickly, apparently it sounds like a lie. Oh, I forgot. There was a third test. No, she didn't fail that one. She walked out of it. Although there have been no substantial updates in Kyron's case, the Center for Missing and Exploited Children has continued to create age progression photos of Kyron over the years, hoping that one day someone recognizes that face. That pretty much catches us up to 2025, and it's been 15 years since Kyron disappeared. Terri has since changed her name to Terri Vasquez, and while Kyron's disappearance has never been pinned on her, other crimes have. Meanwhile, Desiree and Kaine still have hope that Kyron will make it home one day.
15 years with an ongoing case is challenging.
The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is doing everything they can in his case, earlier this year, they announced that all of Kyron's case files are being digitized for FBI analysis in a renewed push to find him. Now, I'm truly baffled by this case. There's one person that appears to be a suspect, yet nothing substantial to tie her to Kyron's disappearance. So did Kyron just walk away, or is it the school's fault? I mean, they didn't notify the Hormans that Kyron was absent, or was Terri behind it? Or could it have been a stranger? There are so many questions that we just don't have answers to. I want to know what you think happened to Kyron Horman. Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.